became a permanent resident of Canada. I'm going to ask you to kind of break out of the Canadian politeness shell, because I get nervous in front of a new group of people, okay? I think you're going to make fun of me, but I need encouragement, so when I count to 3 and point, I need everybody here to say, all with one voice, "What happened to your face?" Can you do that? Okay, 1, 2, 3.
What happened to your face?
That was a little too enthusiastic. But I appreciate it. I thought you'd never ask, actually. And so what you see on the left side of my face and neck is a birth difference. I don't like the term birth defect too much, okay? So let's just say birth difference. The day I was born, a slight discoloration on my left eyelid. The doctor said, "Don't worry, Mrs. Roche. It'll be gone in a few days." Well, thank you, doctor. How many? 50,000 days later. But it didn't go away when I was a year old, still tiny. The whole bottom part of my face blossomed into what looked like a bunch of grapes. My parents, of course, were terrified. They took me to hospital, and then I had the first of many surgeries. My lower lip was removed. And I had lots of other procedures, including radiation therapy, which caused the bottom part of my face to stop growing, and I lost all my teeth. And this on my left eyelid is actually a radiation burn, which I think is kind of cool, you know. There's not many people have radiation burns on their face, so not the distinction. So I was pretty much born with this face. And for most of my life I felt very ashamed and felt like I was a freak and a monster. It's taken me a long time to realize my face is a gift, okay? I know that, oh, you're thinking, oh sure, he's an inspirational speaker. He's going to say things like that. But the truth is, it is a gift, because I've been forced to find my inner beauty. You know what? We who are facially different have children of the dark. It can be difficult for us to come out, but we know that your children are the dark too. We know your secrets. From our hiding place in the dark, we watch you. And I have learned that every one of you feels like you're disfigured in some way, on the outside, on the inside. Maybe it's a little imperfection. First time I gave a talk about facial difference, this little woman came up to me afterwards. She was crying. She said, "David, you're so inspirational. It was really hard for me too in school. As a matter of fact, I'm still very ashamed and embarrassed about my freckles." You know, I turned away. I thought to myself, freckles? Really? The heartbreak of freckles? Maybe? I'd like to slap those freckles right off your face. But I didn't say anything, of course. I didn't, but that was when I began to learn that everybody feels that there's something wrong with them. And I'm the lucky guy because I was forced to find my inner beauty. Full disclosure, people do, you know, there's some good things about being facially different. I got on the 257 Express bus off the ferry coming down from the Sunshine Coast. This elderly woman with a cane got up and gave me her seat. You know, I had about half a second of hesitation, and then I asked her to move to the back of the bus. So that's good too, you know, and there are bad things too. People do ask about my face. Kids, they're age 4 and 5, they're into monsters. They see me in the checkout line. I'm supposed to be under the bed, in the closet, you know, so they're pestering me. And I've been tempted to say, no son, no, my face doesn't hurt. Oh, my face looks like this because when I was a little boy like you, I touched my wee-wee. It's another tribute to Rob Ford there, an homage to Rob. By the way, we have received, well, it's not actually a letter. I got an email from Rob Ford here. And yes, and he was very happy to hear from Hetty Fry. And Rob Ford is trying to reach out. He's trying to change his image. And he's written, and he feels very proud to be part of this group because he's really trying his best to acquire a brain injury. So let's cheer for Rob Ford. I think he wants to be one of us, okay? He's close, he's right on the verge. Sorry for all you Rob Ford fans out there. People do ask about my face, it's true, they ask, you know, the worst thing about being disfigured is like people remember me. You know, and I can't remember you. Okay, I look out at you. I said, oh my God, they're all normal. They all have these attractive faces. They have no scars. How do you guys tell each other apart? Get a face. Get a face that makes a statement, you know? A tattoo at least, you know? Hopefully a nice scar, a nice attractive scar. You know, but yeah, people do ask. I was introduced as being inspirational. I'm sorry, it's kind of a big fail up here at being inspirational. I'm not failing at being inspirational. You know, I've learned that. It's a funny thing. All I have to do is be myself, and people think I'm inspirational. You know, and that's another thing that people say, you know, another thing that people say a lot is that I'm inspirational. I used to hate that, now I kind of like it. And the worst thing that people ever say is, you know, that, well, one thing is they say, well, oh my, you must have suffered so much. You know, I say, well, maybe I'm suffering right now. And 2 times in my life, people have come up and said to me, you know, you are so courageous. I think if I looked like you, I'd be tempted to kill myself. And what you say to that is, well, you still can. Don't let me stand in your way. So it's all about relationships. We know that. You know, I'm proud to be here because I know that the movement here is toward unity and consolidation and growing in strength. I want to thank the leadership of both organizations that are coming together here. I want to thank Liz and Jeff for all the great work you've done in bringing this together. You know, there's all kinds of skills here. I was wandering around, circulating earlier. Okay, I was working the room. And met people with this huge number of diverse skills. But everybody I talked to was passionate, and everybody I talked to had a good heart. So it's clear that, you know, this is like the year of the brain, okay? Brains are finally getting it together to get credit and to get a little attention. So, hence the Brain Injury Association. But we know that brains can't live without hearts, right? Yep. Sometimes they try, but they don't really. So, what unites us all here is the heart. And everything good that has happened to me has happened as a result of good relationships. You know, my parents gave me unconditional love when I was born. I had my nana, my grandma. My first day of school, I went to Catholic school, nuns, real nuns. All you could see was this. This in the hands. It scared me a little bit. Yeah, it scared me a lot, actually. I remember Sister Frida. You know, this is Catholic sex education, okay? Really great. Boys and girls, this is not funny. I don't want you to laugh at this. When you have those impure thoughts about your body or somebody else's body, I want you to think of our dear Blessed Virgin Mary. She will help you. Right, okay, I tried it, you know, and what happened was ever since then, I've had this obsession with women with really large, well-developed halos. And I see a lot of you out there, actually. It's quite nice. And, you know, it's funny how you get formed. I had this memory recently. I'm trying to think of, like, how is it that I feel self-confident? How can I feel confident when I look the way I do? And the story always comes back to moments of grace, and it's always about people helping me. People like you. You know, I see the same eyes, the same faces that I saw when I was a kid. And I thank you for that, for what you're doing on all your various ways. People helped me a lot too. When I was in 7th grade, we had 7 kids, big family. I decided I should get a job. So I got a job. I cleaned up after lunch in the cafeteria, and I got free hot lunch, which cost 25 cents in those days. And only the truth was, I didn't do any work at all. The cafeteria ladies did not want me, a 12-year-old boy, messing around. But they're always so sweet. They always hug me, you know? And they, you know, cafeteria ladies, they got the hairnets, and they got those big arms, you know? Zoom, zoom, zoom. So they come and they push me out of the way, and they say, honey, you go outside and play. And they give me these hugs. And I feel these voluminous arms around me. And ever since then, I've had this fixation on women with really large, well-developed arms. You know, they're very sexy, actually. So you never know. You never know. My grandma loved me. The nuns, the first thing I learned in school, first day of school, the best way to go into church. We went to Mass every morning. We had to go in single file, in order according to size, so I was one of the first. And they said that we had to go in order according to size because God loved us that way. So it was clear that from the beginning, we worshiped a God with obsessive compulsive disorder. So I like that. You know, and I wanted to show my grandmother how I learned to go into church like this with my eyes down, looking at my praying hands, and I went to show her. I got halfway across the living room in my prayerful good boy mode. She jumped up, she ran at me, she grabbed my chin and yanked it up. She stood right in front of my face and screamed, "No! No! You hold your chin up! You look them in the eye! You be proud of who you are! Do you hear me, David?" I did hear her. Scared me. It still scares me to remember that. But you know, there it is. That's a moment of grace. That's the kind of thing that people like me, people with brain injuries, and people like you need. That kind of thing. Maybe you weren't lucky enough to have a grandma like that. All you do is find one, you know? Or you can channel your own inner grandma, okay? So that's the kind of thing that helped me. Sister Frida scared me. She leaned over my desk. She had these glasses that made her eyes all goggly. I was a kid. I never saw anything like that. She had enlarged pores. I didn't know what that was. What are those black things on Sister Frida's nose, Mom? Oh, those are enlarged pores for me. Nothing to be afraid of. And she had this kind of breath. You know when you're a kid, you know the way your house smells, you know the way your dog smells, you know the way your brother smells, you know what he smells like when he wets the bed, you know? And then Sister Frida smelled different. It was like, and so she scared me, but she signed me up for a spelling bee, which I never would have done on my own. I was too shy. I finished second. I thought I failed. On the way to home, my parents took a different turn. Where are we going? We're going to see Sister Frida, honey, and tell her what happened. No, I don't want to. We went to the convent. I didn't even know there was such a thing as a convent where the nuns lived. I thought the nuns were like kept in a storage area. You know, and brought out to teach us in the morning and then put back at night. And there's Sister Frida. She cocks an eyes out. I start crying. My mother says he's seen his second sister and he's very sad. And Sister Sita looked at me and she went, ah. And she ran at me with those big black robes, slapping like this all the way across the room, and she grabbed me and she hugged me. I was hugged by a nun. Now, being a good little Catholic boy, my first thought was, oh my God, there's a Bobby under there. I'm gonna go to hell. But in that most un-nun-like moment, she was someone who had faith in me before I had faith in myself. So the accumulation of these moments of grace, and I know that that's what you give people. I know that that's what you strive to give people because of the passion and the heart that I heard from you when I walked around this room. I tried all kinds of things to learn to love myself, you know. I tried to be a hippie, that didn't work very well. I was the world's only anal retentive hippie. It was like, hey, why don't we get these dishes done before we light up? You know, I learned other things too, like, I realized at one point, I believe in male intuition. Oh, dead silence at that, eh? Male intuition. You women have gotten credit for being tuned into energy and vibrations and stuff like that. Now we men are saying we have male intuition. I'm not saying it looks really well, but we have it. Okay, you're stunned. You need an example. Okay, have you ever heard a man say, yeah, I think it's time for a beer? How does he know it's time for a beer? That's male intuition. I know where I'm going. I don't need a goddamn GPS. Okay, how does he know? Male intuition. I learned to believe in unconditional love, but I learned to be realistic, you know? The Church of 80% Sincerity, my book and my show, it's about having lower standards. That's the key to happiness, is lower standards. So that we don't have any ideals at all. We adjust our spiritual beliefs and practices to conform to the reality of human beings. Like meditation, okay? Everybody's tried to meditate, right? But the dark secret is nobody can meditate longer than 15 or 20 seconds. Okay, so Buddhists have tried walking meditation. That kind of works, but it needs to be more accessible. So in the Church of 80% Sincerity, we have anxiety meditation. It's especially for you lawyers, okay? Because I know you guys are so busy, you're so challenged, you don't have time to do something like meditate. You know, you have to check the email, for God's sake. There's nothing else. So I've come up with an anxiety meditation for you. You don't have to memorize a mantra in a foreign language. You just get to say what's going on in your brain every time you meditate. Like, here it is. Why am I doing this? This is such a waste of time. Oh God, my butt itches. I got to get to the email. Why am I doing this? You get the idea? That's the anxiety meditation. You want to get in touch with your inner anxiety. And from time to time, calmness and peace of mind may intrude. It's okay. It's perfectly normal. When that happens, simply return your attention to your breathing and you'll feel anxious again right away. So there you go. Unconditional love we believe in, that only lasts about 10 seconds. The women know this, because you can't tell a man, honey, I love you. It's too much for him to handle. It's too cosmic. You have to, if you understand the true nature of unconditional love, then you can say things like, honey, I have these feelings of love for you that last about 8 seconds. Which actually is something that a man can deal with, because it's quantified emotions, okay? And then, as time goes by, you'll be able to say things like, honey, I think I'm gonna love you till the end of dinner. Yeah, we don't have high standards. So, you know, I looked at you before and I saw that you don't have scars on your faces. But now that I've gotten to know you a bit, I see that you do have scars. And forgive me for not noticing earlier. You know, I say that my face is a gift because I've been forced to find my inner beauty, and that's true. But there's a second way in which my face is a gift, is I've learned to love myself. That's opened the door for me to see the beauty of other people, flaws and all. So, as I've been standing up here for a few minutes, I have been overwhelmed by your beauty. So thank you very much for this moment of grace. Yeah, keep going, DCDIA. Thank you very much. We're not done. We're going to hear from Kyle and Michelle again. You know, and we talked about your heart, and we know all these skills and all these passions are really coming together to build the DCDIA, to build a better life for people with brain injuries. Now you've gotten a taste of Kyle and Michelle. Oh my God, they are so, okay, I'll do it the loud form, like, they're like so fucking irresistible. I swear to God. They're passionate, they're enthusiastic, they're authentic. Oh my God. And the thing is, in the face of something like that, the only thing you can do is submit to them. Okay? So please, guys, come on up, please welcome Michelle and Kyle.